Does this sound familiar to you? Do you know of anybody who has experienced family violence? Sometimes people minimize family violence and say, "No lah, it's just normal family conflict." Today, we are here to distinguish between family conflict and family violence. So what is family conflict? Experiencing family conflict is normal and healthy. These conflicts happen when family members have different views and ways of handling the same situation or problem. Sometimes, the differences can lead to disagreements and arguments. Disputes can arise from something as minor as not keeping the door closed when you leave the room. Where there is ability to resolve differences and unhappiness through proper communication, these conflicts may increase the understanding between family members and forge closer family bonds. However, for some families, these conflicts can escalate to violence and result in harm. So what constitutes as family violence? According to the Women's Charter, family violence is defined as, firstly, willfully or knowingly placing or attempting to place a family member in fear of hurt. For instance, intimidating a person by shouting, making threats or destroying belongings, or throwing or placing weapons or objects with an intent to threaten or instill fear. Secondly, hurting a family member by an act which he or she knows would cause and result in hurt. For instance, physical abuse such as punching, kicking, slapping, or hitting with objects, regardless of any visible injury sustained. This also includes unwanted sexual behavior such as forcing sexual activity, even between spouses. Thirdly, wrongful confining or restraining a family member against their will. For instance, confining a person within the home or room, or stopping a person from going somewhere by physically restraining the person. Last but not least, continual harassment with an intent to cause anguish to a family member, such as verbal abuse, psychological and emotional abuse. This may include insulting, demeaning a person in front of others, monitoring, stalking, and controlling a person's activities and relationships. So now that we have a basic understanding of what family violence may look like, you may ask, are there other forms of abuse that are not covered under the Women's Charter? The answer is yes. Stay tuned to find out more in our next episode. In the meantime, if you or someone you know is experiencing family violence and feels unsafe at home, you may consider reaching out and speaking with a social worker via one of the following resources. However, in an emergency, please call the police at 999 or SMS 71999.